àjànàkú kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí.
bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. ẹ ti ṣe sọ.
Àràmúdá FM àjànàkú kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí.
bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. bí n bá ṣe báyìí ara mi dá. ẹ ti ṣe sọ.
Àràmúdá FM àjànàkú kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you to this program, Niger Gist. Our viewers at home, this is Aramoda TV, a subsidiary of Infinity PSC Entertainment. Today, what we'll be examining is very important and is something that is sensitive, so to say. Yeah. It's something that is sensitive that we all need to pay attention to, especially for Nigerians home and abroad. Our people at home, back home in Nigeria, and at the same time, for those of us who are in diaspora, I really want you to pay attention to today's presentation. Let me quickly inform you that it's not going to be a kind of interactive session. It's going to be asynchronous, which simply means you can leave your comment. And I really want to encourage you to share this presentation so that as many Nigerians as possible can have the opportunity to view this presentation. The topic for discussion this afternoon is deaths that will kill some Nigerian politicians. Deaths that will kill some Nigerian politicians. I know this may sound offensive to some people. Unfortunately, the truth must be told. Some politicians are doing well, whereas a majority of Nigerian politicians and political leaders are doing badly. And we should not shy away from the fact that we need to speak the truth when it needed to be told. Let me first of all make this disclaimer that I, as the anchor of today's program, am not a saint, neither am I perfect. And just to let you know that God has not created a perfect being. Our imperfection is well registered on a daily basis. Nevertheless, we should see it from the point of view that as a leader, especially as a political leader, a lot is expected from the promises you've made to the community, you've made to the society, and you've made to the country. All politicians, especially in Nigeria, swore allegiance, actually swore that they will be committed to rendering services, and therefore, it is expedient that you guys be accountable. I'm not here to in any way mock anybody. I'm not here in any way to expose anything because I don't even have any fact or any data about a particular or a group of politicians in Nigeria. But the truth must be told. The truth must be told. When elections are approaching, it's been the norm among Nigerian politicians to go about, to campaign, to cajole people, to make promises. Yes. I was once there. I remember in 1979. During that time, when Chief Obafemi Awolowo was alive, a lot of things. I wasn't too young. I participated in politics that time, within the capacity of my age and within the confine of my political terrain. Politicians are very sweet. Their mouths are very sugar-coated when it comes to electioneering campaign. They promise heaven and earth. And of course, that is their responsibility. If you're a family to a politician, to a group of politicians, yes, you must have experienced this. If your friends was a politician, if your friends are politicians, or if you are in the political corridor right now, you understand what I'm actually talking about. Nigerian politicians are full of promises when they campaign to be elected into offices. They promise they are going to use their gifts. They come with noble ideas and noble ideas. They raise the hopes of the masses. We will make our neighborhood great again. We will make our community great again. We will make our state great again. Those are some of the promises you guys roll out. In Nigeria, where I was born and bred, politicians see Nigerians as goats. One of the ways to entrap a goat is to have something to feed the goat. The moment you present food, items to goats, trust me, they will run after you. Now, listen. When Nigerian politicians are finally elected and they are sworn in, the game changes. Yes, I mean it. The game changes. That guy who could prostrate to beg you for votes becomes very arrogant. Hardly will he stretch forth his hand to have an handshake with you. That is what happens. At that stage, when they are sworn in, when they've won the elections, you know what? People within the community begin to see the differentials in status. That is when you begin to see that there is a kind of boundary between you and that politician who came begging for votes. At the time of assuming offices, our politicians are no longer contented in Nigeria. They want more. And of course, within few months, they garner power, they garner wealth, they garner assets to liquidate their liabilities. the liabilities which they incur during the electionary season. And guess what? As soon as they get to the offices, what do? They want more. They want everything they can lay their hands on. And within the Nigerian context, to the best of my knowledge, and I stand to be corrected, our politicians have more than enough. Yet, they search for and want excesses at the expense of the masses. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. They forget the fact that there are people they have committed to support. There are people they have promised to serve. Being in politics is a call to service. I know we all know this. I know somebody over there or out there will tell me, hey, Mr. Man, we all know this. Right. Nigerian politicians, they want more than what they can expend in life. Guess what? How do you imagine a politician having 100 properties in Abuja, the federal capital of Nigeria, having more than 20 in Lagos, what billions of naira, and they still have houses in their states? This is appalling. They don't stop there. They go ahead to amass wealth, to buy properties in Dubai. They have houses in London. They have houses in the USA. They have houses in Canada. Houses everywhere. Oh, you may ask me questions. How do they achieve this? They have people in those countries who work for them. And of course, they get their own cuts. They roll out billions, they give them thousands. Nigeria has become a country where non-entities are now celebrities. The hard workers are no longer rewarded. That's unfortunate. The educated are now relegated. What kind of country is this? I'm going somewhere. Our political leaders in Nigeria, it's quite unfortunate that they have too much, to an extent that 5 generations after them cannot exhaust what they have stolen. That's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. During your campaign, you promised low-cost housing estates for the common people. You promised good and functional healthcare facilities. Oh, we are going to improve healthcare facilities in your community, in our... Oh, come on. Where are those promises? You promised to improve the quality of education. The market women, you made promises to improve their standard of living. You cajole our youths. You promise them good jobs. But what have you done? Now, the topic of today is not about the promises per se. It's not about what these politicians have promised numerous Nigerians and they have failed several times. To the best of my knowledge, since I was born some decades ago, I'm yet to find 50% of Nigerian politicians who have been able to fulfill their promises. 50% of Nigerian politicians. Not up to 20%. In fact, some of them, the moment they assume offices, especially when they are in the kind of maybe senatorial positions and they are in the federal territory or the federal capital, you hardly find them. You hardly find them. I mean, people who voted them in become strangers. The constituency they are representing, trust me, becomes a strange land. It becomes a no-go area. That is when they identify that those people are troublesome. Nigerian politicians. Now, quickly, let me talk about some deaths that will kill some of them. Why? I don't wish any Nigerian politician to die. I don't wish any Nigerian to die just like that. I wish we prosper. I wish we grow. I wish we increase. I wish there is social economic development. But unfortunately, if certain things are not in place, those things you politicians promise to put in place and you fail to put them in place will kill you. The absence of those things will kill you. And that is why some of you are dying as a result of your failures, as a result of you not fulfilling the promises you made to the masses. What is that number one thing that will kill some Nigerian politicians? The health facilities you failed to provide. You have failed in your responsibilities from the federal government to state government to local government. You political leaders in Nigeria, hear me and hear me well. You have failed in your responsibilities to provide adequate healthcare system. People are sick, they cannot go for medical treatment. The medical facilities are not even in place. Primary health care system is completely gone. I remember in those days when I was in primary school, I attended St. Paul Breadfruit School, Lagos, Marina. As small as that school was, and as big as it was, we had functional healthcare center in a primary school, well equipped in those days. But now, primary healthcare center within the local government is a ghost of itself. And yet, we have local government chairmen. Trust me, You have failed to provide medical facilities for the masses, and you will suffer at the nick of time. Some of you are already suffering, and some have suffered and they have died for their negligences. I am not emotional, but the topic of this session is concerning. You know, as a state governor, each state has at least one university teaching hospital. Most of these university teaching hospitals are nothing but carcass of themselves. Medical students, they cannot have what we call experiential learning in those teaching universities. You have failed our people. Nigerian politicians, governors, local government chairmen, senators, commissioners, you have failed. Ministers at the federal level, you have failed. Let's go back to the drawing board. You promised free medical health care. Where is it today? Where? Because you could not provide what is essential. These are basic things citizens and indigents should enjoy. Unfortunately, basic things become the expensive and inaccessible facilities. A lot of Nigerians, thousands, millions of Nigerians cannot afford regular medical checkup. Yet most of you travel out of Nigeria, you assess all these treatments using taxpayers' money. Don't you have conscience? Nigerian politicians? Don't you have conscience? You leave your family uncatered for, and you come as a guest to another family for them to cater for you. That is what it means. Your family is your Nigeria. Your family is your constituency. Your family is your local government that you represent. What you are supposed to provide, you have failed to provide them, and now you go to London, you go to India, you go to Saudi Arabia. If those people have not made provision for their people, where will you get treatment? And that is why that hospital, standard hospital, you have failed to provide in your state. By the time you fall sick, you will die. Because there will be no resources to give you the immediate necessary treatment you deserve. Of course, you all remember Mariam Babangida now. Mariam Babangida was the Nigerian most flamboyant and fashionable first lady. Mm-hmm. Very fashionable. She was swimming in affluence when Babangida was the head of state and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But you know what? Both Babangida and the wife and the people that surrounded them failed. They failed to make available standard hospitals across states in Nigeria. When Maria Babangida suffered ovarian cancer, of course they had the money. They have the wherewithal to fly her to the United States. You can fly people to United States. But when God decides to punish an individual or a group of people, there is no mercy from any other source. There is no mercy from any kingdom. There is no mercy from any individual or group of people, because God has made a decisive decision. Miriam Babangida was admitted to the University of California Comprehensive Cancer Center so that she could be treated of ovarian cancer. Unfortunately, I believe if we had a similar or a replica of that center in Nigeria, there are professionals, highly skilled medical doctors, cardiologists that will have treated Maria Babangida at that time. At the age of 61, Maria Babangida died in December 2009. Of course, she died. Nigerian political leaders, what you fail to provide to improve the welfare of the masses, when you fail to provide them, that thing will kill you. Because at the time of your need, those things will not be in place. I'm sorry, I'm not here to castigate any politician, but the truth must be told. And this is a talk for our political leaders to reflect on. Please share this video. Like and share it. Get it to the appropriate quarters. As many political leaders have watched it, please let them reflect on senses out of this nonsense that I'm talking about. Let's talk about our former president. Yes. Somebody who might say, hey boy, former president? Yes, I mean former president. President Umaru Yar'Adua. You know? Personally, I love that man. The simplicity of his life was number one thing that attracted me. But a tree does not make a forest. Yar'Adua could have great vision, wonderful ideas, but there was no way he can single-handedly execute those plans. He also failed to put in place the necessary health facilities for Nigerians. And that was why, when he suffered inflammation of the sac surrounding his heart, which affected his kidney and his lung, is it not a shame for the president of a country not to have health facilities that could take care of him? And he had to be flown to Saudi Arabia. Nigerians. Nigeria. This is a big shame. A big shame. Yar'Adua was flown to Saudi Arabia for medical treatment. He left a country with over 200 million people. a land flowing with milk and honey. Let me tell you, politicians, you know what? Let me tell you one thing. You guys think you are smart. You think you are smart. But God is smarter than you. You think you are powerful. You have the power, the political power. And because of the political power which you possess, you oppress the people that are powerless. You forget the fact that there is someone that has the ultimate power to oppress the oppressor. That is God. In May 2010, God said, hey, Yaradua, you have failed to provide health care facilities for people. These people should have taken care of you. Now, let me tell you something. Hey, listen. Do you know what? The best neurosurgeon in America is a Nigerian. I don't know whether you know this. The best neurosurgeon in America is a Nigerian. If you go to the United Kingdom, a number of Nigerians are doing well. In many parts of Europe, in Canada, people that were trained in medical schools in Nigeria are the professionals and the experts helping these countries outside Nigeria. What drove them to these countries? Lack of tools, lack of equipment. And yet, we have individuals investing billions of dollars. Nigeria is a country where there is plenty of resources, but indigenous as citizens are suffering and they are hungry. They are hungry. Have you ever sat down to ask yourself some questions? Nigerian politicians, Nigerian youths, Nigerian elders, statesmen of Nigeria. Have you sat down to ask yourself questions? Look at our health system in Nigeria. What is happening? What kind of sin have Nigerians committed? We have all the resources, but our problem is bad leadership and bad followership. I think I have to balance it because followers are not significantly better than the leaders. You know? Before the death of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, can somebody tell me the number of times she was flown out of the United Kingdom for medical treatment? And yet, small headache. Presidents in Nigeria, they travel to UK for medical treatment. Unfortunately, they will tell lies. Why our president blatant liars? Why our politicians blatant liars? You deceive people that voted you in. You go for medical treatment, yet you will tell them you went on leave. What kind of leave? When was the president or any president of the United States flown out of that country, either to Dubai or to Saudi or to India or to China for medical treatment? Tell me. Tell me. No. It has never happened and it will never happen. Despite the proximity between USA and Canada, the Prime Minister of Canada will never travel to US for medical treatment. Never. Never. It is the Nigerian politicians that will carry their bag, small headache, malaria, flu. Boom. They are on the plane. They are going to any country they can have the visa for medical treatment. They go to Germany. Look, wherever you run to, Nigerian political leaders, if you don't provide the basic amenities, the basic socio-economic things for your people, by the time you need those things, trust me, they will not be available. They will not be available because you have not done your work. Let's talk about Edo State. Edo State. I love this man, Adams Oshiomhole. As an activist, I loved him. As a unionist, I loved him. But do you know what? People change, yo. Oh, I never knew Adams Oshiomhole could change. But one fact is this. You don't know your friend very well until three things come to place. One, your friend is not yet your friend until when he has money. You don't know him. You don't know her. You can claim to be friends, yes, but let him have access to money. If he still remains who he was, if he remains humble, he's your friend. He's your true friend. Number one. Number two, your friend can claim to be your friend, and you can confirm that truly is your friend after he assumes a position of authority. Let's say, for instance, your friend becomes a commissioner, or he becomes the Oba of your kingdom, of your town or city, or he has a political appointment. If he relates with you the way he used to, then he's a true friend. Number three, for you to know that this person is truly your friend, wait till he possesses power. If he relates with you the way he used to, trust me, he's a good friend. I never knew Adams Oshiomhole could change all of a sudden. Edo State, two-time governor, Adams Oshiomhole. I remember in those days, in the early 2000s, as a unionist, Adams Oshiomhole fought government for the government to put certain things in place to improve the quality of life for citizens, indigents, the masses. But when he became the governor, stories change. Do you know, as wealthy as Edo State was, as spoken as Adams Oshiomhole was, Standard State Hospital was not in state for 8 years. 8 years. Clara Oshiomhole, the wife, the ex-wife, of course, she's late now. The ex-wife of Senator Oshiomhole. That's ridiculous. After 8 years of being a governor, now a senator. Look, what is wrong with Nigerians? Are we crazy? If everyone in Edo State is given opportunity to rule Edo State for 1 year, in the next 200 years, it can never go round. And yet, somebody ruled as a governor for 8 years and now is representing Edo North Senatorial District for another 4 years. Are you the only person? Nigerian politicians, better think. One day, you will leave all these things behind. Trust me. I challenge any one of you. Those of you billionaire politicians, millionaire politicians in Nigeria, I challenge you. What is the challenge? With the amount of money you have stolen, you don't have them. You stole them. You stole them at the expense of the masses. The pensioners, you don't care for them. People that have worked for 35 years, they mean nothing. Their lives mean nothing to you. If they can die, let them die. I think your current slogan, if people have forgotten, is let the poor breathe. You are forgetting that there is somebody that can call for your breath within a twinkle of an eye. You just sleep, you won't wake up. Clara Oshiomhole suffered cancer. In developed countries, cancer patients can be managed for more than 5-10 years. They will live good life. They will live healthy life. They will enjoy themselves. Unfortunately, this can only happen where necessary and appropriate health facilities are in place. Clara shouldn't have died at 54. That was a great loss to the family of Clara, which was as a result of Oshiomhole's negligence in Edo State. Nigerian politicians, wake up. Of course, because of your negligence, because you have failed to fulfill your promises to the masses in Nigeria, thousands of people die every day. You care less. You don't care about people's lives. What about Dipre Alamesia of Bayelsa State? He was a governor. He ruled that state for more than 4 years. Do you know what killed Dipre Alamesia? High blood pressure, diabetes. In civilized countries, diabetic patients can be managed for more than 10 years. They live normal lives. I remember when he had cardiac arrest, he was taken to the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Unfortunately, look at the trend. Most of Nigerian political leaders who have failed Nigerian citizens, who have failed to perform their civic duties by providing basic social amenities. Do you know they die at the time when they should be enjoying the fruit of their labor? Alamesia died at 63 years. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. I don't know. Maybe this will make sense to some of them. One of the richest states in Nigeria is Lagos State. Center of excellence. Where is excellence? Where is excellence? Lagos? Oh. And yet, political leaders in Lagos, they travel out of Lagos, they travel out of Nigeria, they see what excellence is. They go to London. I remember my first few months in the UK. I remember that was a day I was going on the road, on the bus. And I saw road workers. Very, very, very funny to me that time. I saw road workers working on roads by Nigerian standard that were not damaged. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Those roads, by Nigerian standard, they are still in their first class state. And I inquired, why were they removing these things? These roads are still good. The simple answer was, there were cracks to forestall imminent danger. Yet, in Nigeria, we overlook things that are dangerous and things that can cause danger for citizens. I'm coming there. Ordinary COVID-19. Well, let me retract. COVID-19 wasn't ordinary. I express my sympathy and condolences to families who lost beloved ones during that COVID-19 epidemic. But it's quite sad that a whole state could not afford. No, could not afford. A whole governor could not put in place standard intensive units in his state. You all will remember the ex-governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi. He was a two-term governor of Oyo State. As the deputy national chairman of his party, he was to attend a meeting in Abuja. And that is the way God works. That is the way God deals with wicked people. Most Nigerian politicians who have failed citizens and the indigenes, they are wicked. You guys are wicked, male and female. You are not there to serve the people. You are not there to help the people. You are not there to improve the welfare of the people. You are wicked. Most of your children are not in Nigeria. That I know. And there's a way God deals with you. You cargo your children from Nigeria, take them to other countries, Germany, Canada, US, UK, and there's a way God deals with you. You stuff their accounts with pounds and dollars. They cannot even exhaust in the next 10 years. You know what? We have your information. When you do that at the expense of the masses, and this is what God allows the devil to do. He allows your children to go into drugs. And instead of you to enjoy peace, you fall into depression. And that might be the cause of the heart attack or cardiac arrest or high blood pressure some of you are having. These are things that will kill you. I'm not swearing for any one of you, but I'm telling you facts, which you all know. One of the best hospitals in Lagos, the first cardiologist and cardiovascular consultant hospital. That was where Ajimobi was admitted. Look, when God decides to take your life, your money will fail you, Nigerian politicians. Your money. That money you are supposed to use to provide the basic amenities, the basic facilities for the masses to enjoy. You think last minute you can spend the money to save your life is a lie. You know, God works in a mysterious way or in mysterious ways. You can imagine if Ajimobi had fallen sick at a time when it was not COVID-19 epidemic. Maybe he would have traveled to Germany. And probably he would have succeeded to becoming a senator for the second time. Nigerian politicians. What about Gali Nahaba? Or Nahaba, I don't even know. The ex-speaker of the House of Representatives. You know? He battled with ailment for a couple of years. And these are medical issues that will have been well managed, assuming there are policies across the nation that mandates governors, local government chairmen, ministers of health. We have the federal minister, we have the state minister. I don't even know how many portfolios. Naba just died. Something I discovered is this. I'm going to tell you. Do you know that most rich people in Nigeria, including politicians, their health issues are not diagnosed at prime stage? And that is why many of them, they travel out of the country when it is too late. Naba died December 23 this year. You know, including then Abayari. Maybe I should talk about this man that recently died. the ex-governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu. Rotimi Akeredolu. He was the immediate past governor of Ondo State. This man tested positive of coronavirus. His story is quite interesting. Tested positive of coronavirus in June this year. And he was expected to return back to the office July 6. You know? But he decided to go on medical leave. I told you. He went on medical leave. Akeredolu, former governor of Ondo State. He embarked on medical leave from June to September. From June to September. June, July, August, September. About 4 months. From Ondo State. You know, political leaders in Nigeria, they are great liars. They lied. They said he went to Lagos State. Do you know Akeredolu went to Germany for medical treatment? Having tested positive of COVID-19. Nigerian politicians, your failure to provide necessary health facilities in Nigeria, the end result is what will kill you. I'm not swearing and I'm not cursing anybody. I wish in Ondo State there are about 3 standard hospitals, first-class hospitals, that can compete with any hospital in the world. And as soon as Akeredolu contracted Koro, they took him to one of those hospitals with effective treatment. I can guarantee you within 14 days, Akeredolu will have returned to his house to meet his family. But Nigerian politicians, they forget the fact that, okay, let me think for them. This is their thought, or one of their thoughts. They believe if they provide the basic social amenities like good healthcare system, you know, they will not have the opportunity to embezzle money. One, they wouldn't have that opportunity to travel out of Nigeria, through which they will steal money and do money laundering. Yes. Most of them, when they travel out, they do money laundering. Okay? No sickness, no medical issue is simple. Even headache kills people. But if you receive the right medical treatment at the right time, then that person can be cured. The most complex medical issue requires immediate attention. I wish there are medical facilities in Ondo State to take care of Akeredolu now. He will have survived. He will have survived. But do you know what? When he got to Germany, the hospital there, they rejected him. They said, Mr. Man, go die for your house, Joe. Go die. Not be here, they born you. Nigerian politicians. I wish many of you are rejected by those hospitals outside Nigeria you traveled to for medical treatment. Are you following me? I know some of you may say, well, what's this guy talking about? Yes. What is that second thing that will kill some Nigerian politicians? Oh my God. This one is big. This one is big. Let me talk about that. I think we are going to continue this episode next week. Let me talk about one more thing. One more potential killer that will kill some Nigerian politicians. This one is not health facility, lack of health facilities. No. Do you know the reason why we are bandits? 20 years ago, there was no Boko Haram. 25 years ago, there was nothing like Miyetti. In fact, being knowledgeable about kidnapping was more or less like a taboo within our community, especially in the Southwest. You dare not call somebody a kidnapper. No. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like this. Why? I will tell you. That time, there were lots of jobs. Many people were encouraged to engage in agricultural farming. Local businesses were thriving. Whatever we produce locally were locally purchased and locally consumed. And at the same time, they were exported. Gone were those days when Nigeria was the highest supplier of cocoa across the globe. But now, where are we? Our palm oil. It's quite unfortunate. Youths were gainfully employed. I remember in those days when I was in the high school or secondary school, there were summer jobs for youths. I know somebody will say, summer jobs in Nigeria? Yes. Summer jobs. A form of summer jobs. Those of you who are from Southwest, if you have heard about Akpoje palm oil plantation, youths during holidays, long vacation, were employed, paid stipend. They made savings. They could support their parents. Even before graduating from higher institution. Even graduates, master's holders, PhD holders, more than 70% of them are jobless. And that is why there has been incessant increase in the number of bandits and kidnapping. Hard work is no longer being valued within the Nigerian context. We have misplaced value on money without asking questions about the source or sources of wealth. I read in the newspaper a day ago about a woman that rejected a car gift from a 200 level undergraduate student. Can you imagine? Where did he get the money? And there are a bunch of parents who never question what their children bring home. The number of employment has increased astronomically. Look, Nigerian politicians, Nigerian youths are coming after you. They are coming for you. They are coming for you. It's not new. Look, what you are experiencing right now, kidnapping here and there, these are petty things. Have you forgotten that there was a time in the Bible when people had to eat their children and family members? Before it gets to that point, Nigerian youths are coming after Nigerian politicians. They will kill you. An idle hand is the devil's workshop. Those boys, those girls, you have deprived of gainful employment. Those boys, those girls, you have rendered jobless. They are coming for you and your children. Trust me, it's getting there. I'm not postulating doom, but the trend of events is revealing that youths are hungry. Nigerian youths are angry. They are not angry against their parents. Their parents have sponsored their education. They pay their tuition fees, exorbitant tuition fees. You can imagine someone who has 3 or 4 children paying over 300,000 per session, and he has to pay for 3 or 4 children or more than that, and yet his wage is less than 200,000 in a month. And you politicians, you earn millions of naira in 2 weeks, and you think these people will sit down, fold their arms, wait, and allow you to destroy them and the next 5 generations in poverty, in penury? Come on. Those bandits, potential Yahoo boys, there are some of them, they are not interested in becoming Yahoo boys. Trust me. I'm not encouraging those of you that are in Yahoo business. Please refrain, retract. The end of that endeavor is doom, is death. There are other things you can do. Be creative. Nigerian youths, be creative. A time is coming very soon. Nigerian youths will run after you politicians. They will run after your children. Do you think if they have the means and have access to your children in diaspora, they will not deal with them? They will. How can a politician, one politician, have over 20 cars? Hey! Over 20 cars. Yes, you will have it. I know why. You didn't buy those cars with your money. Number 1. Number 2, you don't pay insurance on those cars. Assuming you pay insurance on each of the cars, I trust you, you won't have more than 2. unfortunately, God will catch up with you. We will continue with this episode on Nigerians, deaths that will kill some Nigerian politicians. They will be killed if they continue to fail to fulfill their promises. If they continue to fail to put in place the essential and basic things that will improve the quality of life of Nigerian indigenes. Viewers at home, I want to encourage you to please share this video. Like it, share it, spread the news, and let it get to any politician you can think of in Nigeria. My name remains Dr. Alaba Agbatogun. See you next week.